Promoting and enhancing sleep is one of the primary functions for the music, soundscapes, and noise within the Spindles app. And as I was composing music for this purpose, I started to run into a practical challenge, which is it's really beneficial to listen to certain kinds of music to help you fall asleep. But then once you're asleep, you really want to listen to something that's more minimal, music that's more ambient, or even just natural soundscapes like rain or wind, or noise profiles or binaural beats, but things that are very even and are going to help both function as a noise canceling device, but also can be soothing and help you maintain that deep sleep. So the challenge was, how do you program something that can play all night that has music to help you fall asleep and then goes into this more minimal bed for the rest of the night? And that's why I created the 8-hour album that is formatted like that. So there are a couple of music tracks to help you fall asleep, and then it loops through different soundscapes and noisescapes for 8 hours. So this was great. But what if you want to change it and you want to have your own music to fall asleep to from the collection, and then there are certain soundscapes that you particularly like and you want to loop through those. So just to make a normal playlist doesn't work, because when the playlist loops, you're going to go back to the music that puts you to sleep that you might not want to hear at 3 a.m. And to build your own 8-hour playlist is quite tedious. Who wants to sit there and do that? So my idea was this thing called a meta playlist, which is essentially just the ability to link two playlists together. Make a couple playlists. One playlist will be however many tracks you want to help you fall asleep. And then the second playlist can be a collection of more minimal pieces of music or soundscapes, or, like I mentioned before, whatever you like to listen to while you sleep. So you go into the meta playlist and you select these two playlists, and the first one will play through once, and then the second one with the minimal soundscapes or whatever will loop the rest of the night. And I'm going to show you where to find this, how to set it up in the app. And then as a bonus, you can use this function called scheduled play, which is essentially an alarm to wake you up. So let's get into the app and I'll show you how this works. Okay, so we're in the app. This is the front page, and you've got your featured tracks and the categories, and most recently added on the top. And you'll see some of the sleep-specific tracks that are available here. And then if you go to the second tab, you'll see all the albums and collections. So this is everything as opposed to just highlighted tracks on the front page. And you'll see the sleep album with the sleep tracks, and then this 8-hour sleep album that I was talking about. So it has a couple of my favorite music tracks to start, and then it goes into different soundscapes and noisescapes for 8 hours. How could I create a function where you could create your own version of this easily? And that's what the meta playlist is. So the way you make a playlist is you play a track, you open up its main player, and in the main player, you'll see these different options here. And this is the playlist button. So you click this and you can either create a new playlist or add it to an existing playlist. So that's how you create a playlist from within the track. So once you've added some tracks to playlists, you'll find them in this fourth tab, in the playlist tab. And here are your playlists. The idea is you make one playlist that is however many tracks you want that you think help you fall asleep. And I think most of those in the sleep music album would kind of work that way. And then you make another album that are sounds that you want to listen to help you stay in deep sleep, whether it's the natural soundscapes, and there's a whole album of those. These natural soundscapes I've recorded, there are a bunch of them, or a noisescape, different noise profiles. There are different colors of noise, some emphasizing high frequencies, some low frequencies, some are a little more undulating, or binaural beats, which are those steady tones that some people find calming and soothing. So add some of those to a second playlist. And you can see here, I have this one called Sound Sleep, which I created with just a few of the Noisescapes. And then I have and then I have one called Fall Asleep, which are 3 tracks I like to fall asleep to. Okay, so I've got those 2 playlists. Now at the bottom of the playlist page, you'll see this Meta Playlist link. So click that, and now you're on the Meta Playlist page. All you do is you select the playlist that you want to have play through once to help you fall asleep. So I'll select this Fall Asleep playlist. And then the playlist that you want to loop through the rest of the night to help you stay asleep. And I'll select my Sound Sleep playlist. The first one will play through once, and then the second one will loop for the rest of the night. The bonus tip is you can then set an alarm, or I call it a scheduled playback, to help you wake up when you want, but I'll go over that in the next video. So you just play it, and that'll start playing it from the top, and you'll get on the lock screen, you'll get this notification that it's functioning, or if you go to another app and put this in the background, you'll see it appear in the dynamic island up at the top. This button will take you back to the beginning of the whole Meta playlist. So no matter where you are, whether you're in the first playlist or the second playlist, clicking this button will go back to the very beginning and start it over. If you hit pause, it'll pause you wherever you are, but it'll keep the Meta playlist will still be active until you select a track somewhere else in the app, and then it will leave the Meta playlist. And you'll see this icon has changed to show you that it's active. Once you click on another track, that goes away and you're out of the Meta playlist mode. So that's it. And I hope you find it useful, and let me know if you have any feedback. I started a Reddit, Spindles Reddit, to be a place where people could give feedback easily. And I hope you check it out. Thank you.